Hello? Is that Keir Starmer? Yeah, it's me, fucking darling, right? And I'm not being funny, I'm gonna keep ringing, right? I'll keep ringing and fucking having it out with you because I've absolutely had enough, darling. What's this all I'm seeing all over Facebooks and fucking news and that saying that we've got to have digital ID cards? No, Keir, it's a fucking wank idea, darling. It's just another way for you to fucking track us, follow us round Stokers, and at this point I feel fucking stoked. I feel vulnerable, I feel shook, I feel panicked. I don't want a fucking ID card. Do you know what I mean, darling? You're trying to fucking shove them down our neck? Really, though? No, darling, it's not fucking on. No, and I'm not having it, you're pinning that on fucking illegal immigrants, darling, right? They're not fucking out to do with it, right? Just because all these fucking divvies are going around with a fucking Union Jack flag, protesting outside Holiday Inn, that's not why we need fucking, we don't need ID cards, darling. You're just using that as an excuse to fucking make them not feel better about things. No, I'm not having it, darling. It's absolutely disgusting. It's an invasion of my privacy, and I'm not having it. Not me or my fucking babies.
Digital ID law, or whatever the hell you want to call it, trying to be passed in the UK. I am not having it. If you understand what this means, people, you don't want it either.
Hi guys, I don't usually get involved in the politics side, but by God am I going to this time. This is the hill that I am prepared to die on. I'm not going to give up, I'm not going to give in. Didn't sleep over this last night because I knew it was coming. I've known it was coming for 5 years. So 5 years ago, World Economic Forum on live TV literally applauded the Chinese government for their social credit score system, whereby if you miss a bill payment, you can't buy groceries, you can't even get into the shop, you can't even get through the facial recognition barriers to get to work. So you keep missing bills, never mind. And they were looking at ways of implementing it across the West. Tony Blair's been trying and failing since he was in power to do this, and not, like Sky News said, not to stop immigration. He's used several excuses over the years. The last one was 5 years ago when he wanted to stop anyone that wouldn't get a vaccination from entering society. Those videos are still there. I won't be complying. I am a law-abiding, tax-paying, UK-born citizen. I have all of my documentation that I am required to work. And I will not be getting involved in a digital ID, mainly because I know where it's headed. I know that the next step is the carbon passports to stop us travelling, which they've been talking about for several years. They've spent 2 years sat in rooms looking at carbon allowances for all products. You can drink lots and lots of Coca-Cola because that's next to no points, but you buy one steak a day and that's your carbon allowance gone. You won't be able to buy anything else, fuel, anything. And once they've harvested enough data, you're then looking at social credit scores. I'm not playing anymore. I know a lot of people are saying the same thing. The scales have well and truly shifted now.
I just want to say it straight up, I completely disagree with digital ID, and let me tell you why. We're being told it's to stop illegal immigration, which I think is just a cover-up. Yes, immigration is a problem, but let's be real, why would an illegal immigrant care about digital ID? They're illegal for a reason, they'll find a way to work around it. The real truth is that this is about control. With a digital ID, everything you do will be tracked, literally everything. Once that's in place, it's only a matter of time before it turns into a completely cashless society. Mark my words, when that happens, they will have complete control over everything you do. They'll have the power to completely drain your bank account. Literally, with the click of a button. Everything you do will be watched. Everywhere you go, everything that you spend your money on, what you look at on the internet. Don't fall for the excuse. This is not about immigration. It's about control.
You see, you lot who've been going to these immigration marches and da-da-da-da, I hope you lot are the first ones, yeah, to protest about this digital card and digital ID and thing. Because I'm not going to lie, you lot really did fall for the government's tricks once again. Listen, guys, I'm just thinking, like, people are so dumb, yeah? And this is why I don't have no political view, because it don't matter what fucking party you're at or what side you're on, the government will do what they want to do. And it's not even fucking government, it's... I don't want to get into that. That's a whole conversation for another day. I don't even come on a TikTok thing and do anything political and stuff. But I just think, like, bro, the government create problems and make a solution, yeah? So they've done all of this immigration stuff and this, that, and the other. And I've been saying this, bro. It's not even nothing new. People been saying this. They're going to create this immigration problem and make everyone go angry and protest, and there's going to be a whole uproar, and then they're going to make the digital cards because now they're going to crack down on it and shit. Bro, it's right in your face, bro. Even with the whole COVID thing, yeah, that was just a little test. Yeah, that was just a little test run to see how compliant everybody is. Everyone's outside Sainsbury's and Tesco, all like fucking in the car park, all 2 meters apart, acting stupid, not seeing their families for a whole year and shit. You lot fast up yourself, get the vaccine, and you still get sick up. Bro, like, it's stupidness. And soon you won't even be able to go to the corner shops and get a packet of fags without them knowing. Do you know what I mean? Like, the digital footprint that we already have is crazy. But soon, it will be cashless society. Soon, we're not going to happen. Soon, we're going to be so controlled. Soon, we're going to be like North Korea, if even worse.
So I'm just clarifying that in order for me now to go to work, to earn money, to pay tax, which goes into the government's pocket, to then, with the remainder of my money, pay my overinflated bills, to line the pockets of the big energy companies that are charging me an extortionate amount for gas and electricity, to then be able to pay an over amount of council tax that they said wasn't going to go up, to putting fuel in the car, paying tax on that. I got to prove that I'm legally allowed to do that. So you've got to sign up to a digital ID in order to get the proof you need to legally pay into the tax system. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And yet they're worried because of illegal workers and illegal migration.
Hi, I'm your new digital ID card and I'm going to stop the small boats. Wrong. Germany have had digital ID cards for many, many years now. And look at Germany. They are one of the worst affected people for immigration across Europe. And look how that's worked out. Great news, you can now use this card when you go and do your supermarket shop. Unless you've not had your COVID jab, which was forced upon you, then you can't use it and you can't feed your family. Nice. There is some good news though. Keir Starmer will have already set up who will provide these cards for us, and that company will make billions of pounds profits. And I'll guarantee now, you've heard this here first, Keir Starmer will be friends with this person. He will make a big backhander out of that, and it's nothing to do with our liberties and making it better for us. It'll be about Keir Starmer making some money. I'll guarantee that now. Look at the PPE scandal, and it was all overpriced. This will be exactly the same thing.
So I've had some messages in my inbox this morning. This lady's posed two very valid questions, which I said I'd address on a video. I'll do them separately. But the first one she was asking about was what happens with the digital ID if you're on benefits? And this is a very real valid question because she's right. They will try and force us, like they did with the jibby jabbies. They will try and force us to conform to the digital ID. Otherwise, they'll just stop your payment, just switch you off, which is what they're going to do anyway with the digital ID. So whether you've got the digital ID or not, if you are using your voice and being a sovereign human being, whether you sign up or not, you're still going to get switched off, right? But this is a valid question because people are very worried about what to do. I think we're at the point now where we've pretty much only got two options, and one is hoping that everybody doesn't comply with it, because we're at a point now where there's enough people awake where it can be a very real possibility that people will just say no and not comply, and then they cannot enforce it if we don't comply with it.
We are absolutely fucked. Royally fucked. You want to be able to access the NHS, you're going to need one. You want to do fucking anything in your life, you're going to need one. And what's going to come after that? Digital currency. And then every fucking aspect of your life is tracked and monitored and surveilled. And there will be no fucking privacy ever. You can't do anything. And if they decide that you have political opinions that are against theirs, or that your carbon footprint is too fucking big, or you gave a funny look to your next door neighbour's cat, they can close access to all your things. Now, I usually keep my opinions on all this to myself because I generally tend to, but I'm absolutely at the fucking breaking point. I am so sick of this now. Obviously, we've had all the hoo-ha about all the people coming in on boats. And again, I've not said anything. I have my own opinions, but I've not said anything. But this goes to show that that's all just a fucking front. They used that and created all this fucking mayhem with everybody. You know, everyone going out and doing the big get-togethers and things like that, and hoisting the flags and things like that. But this was end goal the whole way. They needed to create a problem so they could offer you a fucking solution.
What was it that made Keir Starmer decide to impose digital IDs on us? Did he just think to himself, well, we're just not unpopular enough? We're the most unpopular government since Magna Carta, but we need to be more unpopular. So I know, let's do what Tony Blair wants, because he's massively unpopular. He even looks like Satan now. so we'll do what he wants and have a digital ID. Yeah, that'll be great. Well, if you're not 100% thrilled by the whole idea of digital ID, there are lots of potential protests and ways to fight against it.
How are they going to push the digital IDs and get people to accept them when everybody's aware of all this manipulation what we get put through?
Digital ID, digital ID, digital ID. That is all you're going to hear moving forward for these weak-ass, bought and paid for politicians. Now, you all know, through what you went through in the pandemic, how they operate. The order comes down from above. They normalise it through conversations, talk shows, your Jeremy Vines and all these fucking... Learn from our mistakes, people. When we went against the government 2020, 2021, we went down the traditional routes. But there was one thing that was said for the get-go that would have stopped the whole fucking thing. Resist, defy, and do not comply. And if you want to learn from the mistakes we made, then do not comply to this. The minute you agree to this, as I've said previously, will be your digital and biological enslavement. People can't see the end game right now because they just say, oh, it's going to protect you for these migrants, you're going to feel safe, we're going to have a safer society. But little do you know that when you accept this, it opens up a door to so many possibilities of them entrapping, enslaving you, and just basically making you the barcode that they have dreamed of achieving for 30 fucking years. So I would say to you people, there is one way to stop it. The same way we could have stopped the injections, and the same way we could have stopped these towers, by mass non-compliance. Peace.
This is a message for Keir Starmer and the Labour Party and anybody else in Parliament. I am not going to comply with your digital ID. It's not going to happen. Have a look at social media. Read the room. Look at the pushback. Look at the comments. The people are not going to do it. You're wasting your time. You're allowing unvetted migrants to enter this country and they're causing chaos and costing us billions. And you think the solution is to force me to have a digital ID to stop the boats from coming in? Are you deluded, man? Are you absolutely deluded? Because we're not going to comply. We're not going to consent. We've had enough. You need to resign and take every other MP in Parliament with you. We need good men and women in positions of power in this country whose only job is for the betterment of the men, women and children of the United Kingdom. Not these unelected, non-governmental organisations, the WEF, the UN and the World Health Organization. You can pander to them, but we're not. We will not comply. We will not consent. You can stick your digital ID where the sun don't shine, because we have had enough and we're not doing this anymore. Resign, get out. We don't want you. You are a criminal and you've betrayed the public. You should be arrested for treason along with every other MP who's voted for these draconian measures against the people you're supposed to serve. Get out.
Digital IDs, everybody. So, we didn't see that one coming, did we? Well, some of us did. Some of us were prepared for this coming, and a lot of us weren't. And those said people are probably going to be the people that continue to take the jab to this day. I mean, after everything we've been through from 2020, who is believing this shite? Who is believing that digital IDs are being brought in to help with illegal immigration? You're having a laugh. What will help with illegal immigration is sticking the Royal Navy in the channel and turning those boats away. Not letting them in and everyone having to a digital ID to make sure that you are a citizen of this country and you're eligible for work or whatever else. I mean, absolutely mental. Who is actually believing this now? Honestly, I want to know. I would like people to tell me who is actually believing that crap.
I've got a passport. I've got a driving licence. I have an NHS number. And I have a bank card. Now I'm told I need a national ID card. Can somebody explain why? All this information about me has already got a digital footprint. Now Labour is saying today, you need this so that we can stop people being here illegally. Why? Look, I'm not one of those, I've nothing to hide. I don't need I don't have anything to hide. I'm not against my information. It's held in all the places I've just described to you. What I don't understand is why there needs to be a central ID bank. Why? What would be any different from the information you already have from me? I'm not being paranoid. As I said, I've got nothing to hide. But I don't understand why having a national ID system would protect against illegal immigration or identifying those who shouldn't be here. Why should my information impact on that? Do you know? You happy to have an ID card? I'm not. Big brother. What happens if that gets lost or damaged? Do I not exist? Don't want one. Thanks.
So they're bringing digital ID in to the UK under the guise of the people coming on the boats. This is what everybody tries to tell you guys. They bring people in to cause an argument. Yep, all the people on the boats. Oh my gosh, they're taking our jobs. They've been sticking them up in five-star hotels to piss you all off, to get you all riled up, because then guess what? When the digital ID comes in and they say, oh, you have to take it to say that you are a British citizen under the guise of you're not like the boat people, you're all going to lap it up and you're all going to take it. They played you all like a fucking fiddle.
Good day, everybody. You won't catch me on here often speaking. However, since Keir Starmer has announced digital ID, it is time for the workforce, whether you support left or right political views, to unite on this front and refuse to comply. Because if the majority of the workforce refuses to comply, the system will fall apart under this pretense of you can't work in the UK if you don't get the digital ID. Okay, well then we'll all refuse. How are you paying your wages that we pay? How are you paying for welfare? How are you paying for the public services? Think about it, guys. Unite.